In Umuoro village, people said a rule: when the sun sleeps, close your door. When the wind calls your name, stay silent. When a child goes missing, do not follow. Nobody believed the rule. Until the night 5 children disappeared, and only one child came back. But he was not the same child. Umuoro village sat near a thick forest. The forest was old, so old that even the elders did not know its true name. At night, the forest made sounds, not animal sounds, sounds like people crying, sounds like children laughing. The villagers said, "The forest listens." Kelechi was a boy of 9 years. He was thin. He had big eyes that saw everything. He liked to ask many questions. His mother, Mama Adana, always warned him, "Kelechi, do not talk to voices you cannot see." But Kelechi was brave. Sometimes he was too brave. Mama Adana sold vegetables in the market. She worked very hard. Her hands were always rough. Her eyes were always tired. But she loved Kelechi more than her own life. Every night she locked the door. Every night she prayed. Papa Noye was the oldest man in Umuoro. His back was bent. His voice was low. People said he could hear spirits. When children went missing before, Papa Noye always said, "The forest is hungry." People laughed at him. Until now. One night the moon was red. The dogs did not bark. The birds did not sing. The air was heavy. Kelechi was playing outside with 4 other children: Chinedu, Amaka, Sola, little Ifunanya. They were chasing a ball. Then they heard it. A soft voice from the forest. "Come." The voice sounded kind. The voice sounded sweet. Amaka said, "Did you hear that?" Chinedu laughed. "It is only the wind." But the voice came again. "Come, I have a gift." Little Ifunanya took one step forward. Kelechi felt cold in his chest. Suddenly, Papa Noye shouted from his hut, "See clean crane, some side now." His voice was shaking. The children froze, but the forest voice became louder. "Come, come." The trees moved even without wind. One by one, the children walked, not running, not talking, just walking, like they were being pulled. Kelechi tried to stop them, but his legs moved too. The forest was darker inside. No moonlight, no stars. The air smelled old, like wet earth, like something dead. The voice changed. It was no longer sweet. It was deep. "Leave your names. Leave your fear. You belong to me now." Kelechi wanted to scream, but no sound came out. A tall shadow stood before them. Very tall. No face. Long arms. Little Ifunanya cried. The shadow reached out. Kelechi closed his eyes. He thought, this is the end. In the morning, only Kelechi was found. He was lying at the edge of the forest. His clothes were dirty. His eyes were open. But his smile was not his smile. Mama Adana ran to him. "My son." Kelechi looked at her. He said softly, "Mother, the forest knows your name." Mama Adana dropped to the ground. Kelechi did not cry anymore. Kelechi did not laugh anymore. Kelechi did not sleep at night. Sometimes he talked to the wall. Sometimes he smiled at empty space. Papa Noe looked at him and whispered. The forest sent him back, but they kept something. That night, Mama Adana heard Kelechi's voice from outside the door, but Kelechi was sleeping inside. The voice said, "Mother, open the door." Mama Adana froze. Kelechi was sleeping on the mat inside the room. She could see his chest rising. She could hear his soft breathing. But the voice outside said again, "Mother, open the door." The voice was Kelechi's voice. Mama Adana held her chest. Her hands were shaking. She whispered, "My son is here." The voice outside became sad. "Mother, I am cold." Tears filled Mama Adana's eyes. She took one slow step toward the door. Then Papa Noye's words came to her mind. "Never open the door when a voice comes at night." Mama Adana stopped. She fell to her knees. She prayed. The voice changed. It was no longer sad. It was angry. "Open the door." The door shook. The walls made small cracking sounds. Kelechi sat up suddenly. His eyes were open, but he did not look at his mother. He looked at the door, and he smiled. From that night, Kelechi changed more. He started waking up before everyone. He stood outside before sunrise. He faced the forest. He whispered. Mama Adana asked him, "Kelechi, who are you talking to?" Kelechi answered softly, "They are teaching me." Mama Adana felt cold. Mama Adana went to Papa Nwoye. She knelt before him. "My son is not my son anymore." Papa Nwoye closed his eyes. He was silent for a long time. Then he said, 50 years ago, I was one of the children." Mama Adana lifted her head. "You went into the forest?" Papa Nwoye nodded slowly. "My friends went in. I went in too, but I ran back. The forest did not take me fully." Mama Adana whispered, "What did it want?" Papa Nwoye's voice became weak. "It wanted names. It wanted souls. It wanted children to carry it." Mama Adana covered her mouth. "You mean Kelechi is carrying it?" Papa Nwoye looked at her. "Yes." Papa Nwoye spoke softly. "There is something old in that forest, older than the village, older than our fathers' fathers. It cannot walk into the village, so it sends voices. When children follow, it puts a piece of itself inside them." Mama Adana cried. "Can it be removed?" Papa Nwoye shook his head. "Not easily." The parents of the missing children came. They were crying. They were angry. "Why did only Kelechi return?" they shouted. "Where are our children?" Mama Adana could not speak. Papa Nwoye raised his hand. The forest took them. The people became afraid. Some said, "Burn the forest." Some said, "Leave this village." Some said, "Kill the boy. He brought this curse." Mama Adana held Kelechi tightly. "He is my son." But Kelechi was smiling. One goat was found dead. Its eyes were open. Its mouth was twisted. Its body was cold and dry. No blood. Kelechi stood near it. Mama Adana shouted, "Kelechi, did you touch this goat?" Kelechi looked at her. He said, "It was not me. It was hungry." Mama Adana felt dizzy. That night, Mama Adana pretended to sleep. She watched Kelechi. At midnight, Kelechi sat up. He whispered, "I am ready." The air in the room became cold. The lamp flame moved without wind. A dark shadow grew on the wall. Not from any person. A deep voice came from Kelechi's mouth. "You belong to me." Kelechi's voice answered, "Yes." Mama Adana covered her mouth to stop her scream. The next morning, Papa Nwoye said, "The thing will soon become strong. When it is strong enough, it will walk using Kelechi." Mama Adana cried. "What do I do?" Papa Nwoye said, "There is only one way. There is a woman in the hills. She knows old ways. She helped my sister long ago." Mama Adana asked, "Is she a witch?" Papa Nwoye said, "She is worse than fear. She is hope." That night, Kelechi looked at his mother and said, "Mother, The forest says you are running. It says it will follow you. Mama Adana packed a small bag. She held her son's hand, and for the first time, she was afraid of her own child. Before the sun rose, Mama Adana and Kelechi left the village. They did not tell anyone. They walked on a small bush path. The air was cold. Birds were silent. Kelechi held his mother's hand. His hand felt colder than normal. Mama Adana asked, "Are you tired?" Kelechi smiled. "I do not get tired anymore." Mama Adana felt pain in her heart. As they walked, they saw strange things. A dead bird hanging on a tree branch. Ants walking in a straight line like soldiers. The wind blowing only in one direction. Kelechi whispered, "They are watching us." Mama Adana said, "Who?" Kelechi said, "The old one." After many hours, they reached a lonely hut in the hills. Smoke came from the roof. Bones hung on strings. Small charms were tied on trees. Mama Adana wanted to turn back, but Kelechi knocked on the door. The door opened slowly. An old woman stood there. Her eyes were white. Her hair was long and gray. Her skin was dark and rough. She said, "I have been waiting. My name is Mamekura," she said. Her voice was strong. She looked at Kelechi. She did not smile. She did not blink. She said, "The forest put its seed inside this child." Mama Adana fell to her knees. "Please help my son." Mamekura turned her back. "Come inside." Inside the hut, fire burned in a small pot. Smoke smelled bitter. Mamekura spoke. "The thing in the forest is called the Hollow One. It has no body. It needs children to walk. It grows inside them." Mama Adana cried, "Can you remove it?" Mamekura looked at her. "Yes, but not for free." Mama Adana asked softly, "What is the price?" Mamekura said, "A mother's blood, a mother's truth, a mother's promise." Mama Adana did not understand. Mamekura took a small knife. She cut Mama Adana's finger. Blood dropped on the ground. The fire made a loud sound. Mamekura said, "You must tell me your deepest fear." Mama Adana cried, "My fear is that my son will hate me." Mamekura nodded. "You must promise something." Mama Adana whispered, "I promise anything." Mamekura said, "If this child lives, you may not." Mama Adana froze. Kelechi laughed, not like a child, like an old man. He said, "She will not do it." Mamekura looked at him. "This is not your body to speak from." Kelechi's eyes became dark. "The Hollow One is listening." The fire went low. The hut became cold. Mamekura drew symbols on the floor. She told Mama Adana to sit. She put white powder on Kelechi's head. She began to chant. The wind came inside the hut. Even with closed doors, Kelechi screamed. Mama Adana held him. "Hold on, my son," Kelechi cried. "It is hurting me." Then a deep voice came, "Stop." The hut shook. The voice did not come from Kelechi's mouth. It came from everywhere. "I planted myself in this child. He is mine." Mamekura stood up. "You are old evil. You will leave." The voice laughed. "He will walk for me." Mama Adana screamed. "Take me instead." The hut became silent. Even Mamekura was shocked. The voice whispered, "A mother for a child." Mamekura turned slowly to Mama Adana. She said softly, "You have opened a door you cannot close." Outside the hut, the forest wind began to move toward them, like it was coming to collect. The wind outside the hut became stronger. The trees shook. Leaves hit the walls. Mamekura closed her eyes. "It smells blood," she said. It smells a deal. Mama Adana held Kelechi tightly. I will not give my son. Kelechi whispered. You already did. Mama Adana looked at him. His eyes were not his. They were old. They were tired. Mame Kura spoke slowly. The Hollow One feeds on love. A mother's love is the strongest door. When you offered yourself, it heard you. Mama Adana cried, then take me. Just free my son. Mame Kura shook her head. It is not that simple. If you die for him, it may live. But it will leave a mark. Kelechi will never be fully free. Mama Adana said, I accept. For the first time, Kelechi cried like a real child. Mother, no. He held her dress. Do not leave me. Mama Adana held his face. My son, I must. Her tears fell on his cheeks. The hut became very quiet. Even the wind slowed. Mame Kura prepared a bigger fire. She gave Mama Adana a white cloth. Wear this, she said. This is for the dead and the living. Mama Adana wore it. She looked small. She looked tired, but she stood strong. Mame Kura drew a circle. She told Kelechi to sit inside it. She told Mama Adana to stand outside it. This circle is life, she said. What stands outside may not return. The shadow in the hut grew tall, taller than the roof. A dark shape formed. No face, only hunger. The voice said, she's ready. Mama Adana closed her eyes. I am ready. The shadow moved closer. Kelechi screamed, Mother! Mama Adana did not turn back. Mame Kura shouted, speak his name. Mama Adana shouted, Kelechi! The shadow stopped. The voice became angry. Names give power. Mame Kura shouted, speak your own name. Mama Adana whispered, Adana. The fire became very bright. The shadow screamed. The hut shook hard. The ground cracked. Kelechi fell to the ground. He cried, like a child again. The shadow pulled back. It screamed, this is not finished. Then it vanished. The wind stopped. The fire went low. Kelechi lay on the floor, breathing fast. Mama Adana ran to him. My son! He opened his eyes. They were his eyes. He looked at her. Mother! She smiled, but her body felt weak, very weak. Mame Kura came closer. The forest has taken your promise. Mama Adana asked, what does that mean? Mame Kura said, your time is now short. Mama Adana held Kelechi. She said softly, even a short life is enough if my child lives. Outside the hut, a single child's laugh came from the forest, not Kelechi's. The sun rose over the hills. The hut was quiet. Mama Adana could barely stand. Her legs were weak. Mame Kura gave her water. Drink, she said. Your strength is leaving slowly. Mama Adana drank. Kelechi held her hand. Mother, are you sick? Mama Adana smiled. I am just tired. But Mame Kura knew her life was counting down. They started back to Umuoro village. The road felt longer. Mama Adana stopped many times. Her breath was short. Kelechi supported her. Now the child was helping the mother. Mama Adana felt proud and sad. Kelechi was more like himself. He laughed a little. He asked for food, but sometimes he stopped and listened to things no one else heard. Mame Kura's words came to Mama Adana's mind. He will never be fully free. When they reached the village, people came running. Kelechi's back. They looked at Mama Adana. They saw her weak body. They whispered. Papa Noye came forward. He looked at Kelechi. He looked at Mama Adana. His eyes became wet. You paid the price, he said softly. Mama Adana nodded. Papa Noe called a meeting. All parents came. They sat in silence. Papa Noe said, "The forest does not always return children. Some become parts. Some become voices. Some become part of the trees." The mothers cried. The fathers shouted. "Then they are dead," someone said. Papa Noye shook his head. "Not dead. Changed." That night, Mama Adana could not sleep. She heard soft singing, children's voices from the forest. Kelechi heard it too. He cried, "Mother, I hear my friends." Mama Adana held him. "They are not here." Kelechi whispered, "They are calling me." Each day Mama Adana became weaker. Her skin looked pale. Her steps were slow. People brought her food. People brought prayers. But the promise had been taken. Life was leaving her. One evening, a small child's shoe was found near the forest edge. It was Samaka's shoe, fresh, not old, not dirty. The people became afraid again. "The forest is still working," they said. Papa Noye said, "It is not finished." That night, Kelechi stood up in his sleep. He walked toward the door. Mama Adana called softly. "Kelechi?" Kelechi answered in a sleepy voice, "They are waiting for me." He opened the door, and the forest wind entered the house. Kelechi walked out of the house. His eyes were half closed. The forest wind pushed his small body. Mama Adana jumped up from her mat. "Kelechi, stop!" Her legs were weak, but fear gave her strength. She followed him. Mama Adana ran. Her chest burned. Her breath was short, but she did not stop. "Kelechi, my son." Kelechi did not answer. He walked faster, like something was pulling him. Kelechi reached the forest. The trees looked tall, very tall. Their branches moved slowly, like hands. Mama Adana grabbed Kelechi's arm. "Do not go in." Kelechi turned. His face was calm, too calm. "They are lonely," he said. "They want me to come home." Mama Adana cried. "This is your home." Papa Noe came running. Other villagers followed. They held lanterns. The forest light looked strange. Papa Noe said, "The Hollow One is pulling him. It is using the voices of his friends." Mama Adana screamed, "Then stop it." Papa Noe looked down. "There is only one thing left." Papa Noe took a small knife. He cut his palm. Blood fell on the ground. He drew a line with his blood. "This is an old barrier," he said. "If Kelechi crosses it, the forest will take him again." Mama Adana held Kelechi. "Do not cross." Kelechi shook. He held his head. "They are calling me." Children's voices came from the trees. "Kelechi, come." Mama Adana covered his ears. "No." Mama Adana fell to her knees. She was very weak, but she wrapped her arms around Kelechi. "If you take him," she cried to the forest, "take me instead." The wind stopped. The voices became quiet. Papa Noe whispered, "The forest remembers your promise." A deep voice came from the trees. "You belong to me." Mama Adana lifted her head. "Then finish it," the villagers cried. The wind moved around her, not around Kelechi, around her. The wind pulled Mama Adana, not hard, soft, like hands. She felt cold. Kelechi screamed, "Mother!" Mama Adana smiled at him. "My son, live." She let go. She stepped to the forest. Papa Noe shouted, "Adana, no!" But she kept walking. The trees opened, the wind took her inside, and then she was gone. The forest became quiet. The voices stopped. Kelechi fell to the ground, crying, real crying. The villagers stood in shock. Papa Nwaye removed his cap. A mother has paid again, he said. Kelechi looked at the forest. Through his tears, he whispered, "She is still alive. She is calling me." Kelechi could not move. He watched the trees. A soft glow appeared inside the forest. Mama Dana's figure stood there, but she looked different. Her eyes shone. Her hair moved like it had life. She smiled sadly. "Kelechi," she whispered, "they will take me soon." Papa Nwaye stepped forward. "Do not follow," he said. "The forest traps those who enter." "But she is alive," Kelechi cried. Mame Kura appeared suddenly. "You cannot fight it," she said. "The forest lives on sacrifice and love." Kelechi looked at her. "I do not care," he said. The forest voice came again. "Your mother's promise fed me. Her life will give strength. Her soul will walk inside me. Your friends are here too, and more will come." Kelechi's knees shook. He whispered, "They are still children," Papa Nwaye said. "They are part of it now. They serve the Hollow One." Kelechi ran toward the forest. The villagers shouted. Mame Kura tried to stop him. He yelled, "Mother, I will not leave you." The forest air hit him like a wall. He felt cold. He saw the shadow forms of his friends. They reached for him. "Kelechi, come." Mama Dana stepped forward. Her glowing eyes touched him. "Kelechi, stay," she said softly. "Live for both of us." Her voice was calm, stronger than the forest pole. Kelechi felt her love. It was warm. It pushed the dark away. Kelechi looked around. The shadow forms reached out. The forest called louder. He could feel their cold hands. But Mama Dana's voice held him. He closed his eyes. He whispered, "I will live, but I will never forget." The forest shrieked. A wind blew Kelechi back. He fell on the ground outside the forest. Papa Nwaye ran and held him. Mame Kura's eyes were wide. "The forest did not take him," she said, "but it remembers." Kelechi looked back. Mama Adana was gone, but he felt her warmth inside. The villagers saw shadows moving in the forest. Papa Nwaye said, "They will never return as they were." But they are not lost. They serve the Hollow One forever. Kelechi cried. He thought of his friends and of his mother. Kelechi whispered to the forest, "I will come back one day. I will free you all." The forest wind blew. A single leaf floated toward him. It blowed and disappeared. Many years passed. Kelechi was no longer a small boy. He became a young man. His body was strong, but his eyes were heavy with memory. Every night he dreamed of the forest. He dreamed of his mother's voice. He dreamed of his lost friends. Kelechi trained with Mami Kura. She taught him old words, old symbols, how to listen to spirits, how to close doors, how to open only the right ones. Papa Nwaye taught him village history, the stories of sacrifices, the truth about the Hollow One. The forest grew darker. More animals died. More strange winds came. More children heard voices at night. The Hollow One was growing strong again. Mame Kura said, "It remembers the promise. It wants more." Kelechi stood at the forest edge one night. He held the carved charm. "My mother gave her life," he said. "I will not let it take more." Papa Nwaye placed a hand on his shoulder. "Then you may not come back," he said. Kelechi nodded. "I am ready." Kelechi stepped into the forest. The air was cold. The trees whispered his name. "Kelechi, Kelechi." He did not answer. He held his charm. He spoke Mame Kura's words. The shadows pulled back. He saw them. Amaka, Sola, Ifunanya. They looked like smoke. They cried, Kelechi, help us, his heart broke. I will, he whispered. The forest became quiet. The Hollow One spoke. I gave you back your life. I gave you strength. Serve me, and they will rest. Kelechi shook. No. The voice became dark. Then you will join them. The ground shook. Shadows rushed at Kelechi. He shouted Mamekura's words. Light burst from his charm. The shadows screamed. They pulled back. The forest shook. The Hollow One laughed. This is only the beginning. Kelechi stood alone in the forest, surrounded, but not afraid. The trees slowly moved apart. A dark path appeared. The air became heavy. Kelechi walked forward. His heart beat fast, but his steps were strong. At the center of the forest, the Hollow One stood. It was no longer just a shadow. It had a shape. A tall body made of smoke and broken faces. Faces of children. Faces of crying mothers. Kelechi fell to his knees. My friends, he whispered. The faces moved. They spoke together. We are tired. We are cold. We want to rest. Kelechi cried. I will free you. A soft light appeared. Mama Adana's spirit stood beside Kelechi. She looked peaceful. My son, she said, the Hollow One lives on pain. It can only die by love. Kelechi shook. I am only one man. Mama Adana smiled. You are a son, and a son carries a mother's love. The Hollow One spoke. Give me your life. I will release them. Kelechi closed his eyes. He thought of his mother. He thought of his friends. He thought of the village. He whispered, if my life will free them, take it. Mama Adana shouted, no. Light exploded from Kelechi's chest. Not pain, love. The forest screamed. The Hollow One screamed. The faces began to fade. The shadows broke apart. The trees shook. The ground opened. The Hollow One cried, I am nothing without them. Kelechi stood in the light. You will be nothing. The Hollow One began to break. But Kelechi felt his strength fading. Mama Adana reached for him. My son, hold on. The forest waited. The final choice was coming. Kelechi stood in the bright light. The Hollow One was breaking. Its body cracked like dry earth. The faces of the children floated free. They looked peaceful for the first time. Mama Adana held Kelechi's face. My son, she said, this is where my promise ends. The Hollow One screamed, if I fall, you fall. Mama Adana stepped forward. She placed her hands on the Hollow One. You fed on my life, she said. Now take the last of me. Light burst from her. Strong. Pure. The Hollow One screamed loudly. Then it began to fade. Mama Adana turned to Kelechi. She smiled. My son, live well. Tell the village the forest is free. Her body became light. Then she was gone, not taken, released. The children's faces smiled. They turned into soft light. One by one, they faded into peace. Chandu, Amaka, Sola, Ifunanya. They were free. The forest became quiet. For the first time, the dark trees became normal. Birds sang. The wind felt warm. The Hollow One was gone. Forever. Kelechi fell to his knees, crying. But alive. Kelechi returned to the village. The people saw his face. They knew. The forest is quiet, they said. Papa Noye removed his cap. A mother saved us all. Mamekura closed the eyes. It is finished. Kelechi became a teacher. He taught children the old rules. When the wind calls your name, do not answer. When the forest whispers, listen with wisdom. He planted trees, not for fear, for life. At night, Kelechi sometimes felt warm, like a hand on his shoulder. He smiled. He knew. A mother's love never leaves.